Hi everyone! So today I thought I'd do my top 10 things no one tells you about pregnancy and labour and after birth. I've been watching these videos now for quite a while and because of both of my labours and things like that. So I always see everybody repeating the same things and no one really going into the deep, crazy things that actually happens to you. So basically I'm doing this video because there are mums out there watching me now who are first time mums who don't really know what's going on and I probably haven't found anyone that's told the truth yet. So if you are, I wish you the best of luck, and if this has scared you, I'm so sorry. None of it might not happen to you, but some of it might, and if it does, then I hope that it's helped. I really do. So my first one would be that your boobs do change. Everybody says they always get bigger, but they never tell you that your nipples go really like sticking out and the areola around them goes really brown. It changes colour. It freaked me out on my first pregnancy, and on my second one I got used to it really fast. It seems to happen pretty fast as well. It normally it just sort of does it overnight sort of thing. So in my first trimester they completely changed. In my first pregnancy, and then it was in my second trimester in my second pregnancy. The second thing is that no one tells you about the aches and pains that you get. So in my first pregnancy I had really bad side pains. They were all the way down from my belly button down to my hip, and they would come mostly at night time, and we rang the midwife and she said it was totally normal, it's just a baby sitting on a nerve. So yeah, they sort of poke their elbows in and their knees in, and all of a sudden you're like paralyzed because it's so much pain. And at that time it was really bad pain. Like, compared to labor now it was nothing, but back then it was horrendous. I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't move, I couldn't turn on my side. I just had to lie there until the pain had to go away. In my second pregnancy I had really bad hip pains. So I couldn't turn from one side of the bed to the other side of the bed. My hips would click, they'd come out of place sort of thing. And it would be as if someone had really twisted my bone the wrong way and it just clicked back in. It was so painful. So that's another thing that can happen during pregnancy. It sounds so fun. My third thing that no one tells you is about your mucus plug. I'm not sure if everybody gets it, but with my two pregnancies I definitely had it. With my first one it came out like a big clump of bogies or snot, whatever you want to call it, and it was a yellowy creamy colour. And on my second pregnancy, too much information I know, turn away now if you don't want to, but if you're pregnant you're probably going to go through it. On my second pregnancy it was really liquidy and pink. So it freaked me out. It started to come out as soon as I got out of the shower in my third trimester. I was probably a week before I was due, and yeah, it freaked me out. I had to ask my other half to come and have a look because I thought I was bleeding internally. So we got onto the midwife and she said it was totally normal. It's called a bloody show. So that sounds heavenly. So yeah, it can be completely different. It can be from one scale looking yellowy greeny colour to the other side where it's red. My number 4 would be that you get extremely tired. I know they say you get tired during your third trimester, but I was tired from my second trimester, and I would have to have naps in the middle of the day. This is my first pregnancy. I'd have to have naps in the middle of the day. I had to have what did they call them? Iron tablets to try and keep me awake. I was super low at that point. I'd probably really struggle if my nan and my mum weren't there. I was still working at that point, and they would have to cover my shift while I run upstairs and have about an hour nap in the middle of the day just to try and get through till bedtime because I was so tired. And in my second pregnancy, it was completely the opposite. I was totally fine until about the last 2 weeks, and then I had to start napping in the middle of the day if I needed it. But I had no iron tablets or anything like that, so I was probably better off in my second pregnancy than I was in my first. Number 5 would be that your relationship changes. I know they say, oh, like your relationship changes in general, but it was more of a really, really good thing for us than a really bad one. Our relationship changed in a way that we felt more comfortable around each other. We could talk to openly about everything, and we had more trust in each other as well. So it's really positive, really, just really nice to have that special bond with someone, and for him to go through it with me. I couldn't have chose a better person if I tried. He has been there, he's been my rock for about 7 years now. I think we're actually going on to our 8th year. Yeah, we're going into our 8th year together. No, 9th year. Our 9th year together. So he really has just been there for me through everything. Could totally talk to you about anything now. 6 is going on to the labour side of things. I did not know that you had to give birth to your placenta. You'd have contractions, you have to push it out. You can get a drug that they put in your leg to help it come up a bit smoother, which I definitely went for because the thought of it just creeped me out. But yeah, it kind of is a worrying thing when it's happening, because you've got your baby on your chest and all of a sudden they're telling you to push again. You're like, what's going on? Why? So if it is your first pregnancy, don't panic. It's totally normal, totally fine. And yeah, you do get a lot of contractions while you're still pushing it out. My number 7 is that you get contractions out of the blue whilst you've had your baby, you're back at home and you still get contractions. That, to me, just freaks me out again. Everything about pregnancy and labour and everything is just scary. Really, really is scary. So yeah, I was breastfeeding my baby and I got contractions, really, really painful ones, took my breath away, couldn't really concentrate on what I was doing. So I had to ring the midwife and explain what was going on. She said it was totally normal, don't panic. And I probably had them for about 2 weeks after both of my labours, more so in my second one. Only ending like last week. I haven't had one this week at all. But yeah, they definitely are super, super strong contractions. Number 8 would be that if you are sore down below, if you've had stitches or if you're bruised, I got both, use a jug of water when you're going to the toilet. It is a lifesaver. Just fill it up from the tap and keep pouring it on yourself as you're, doing a wee. It is super painful, and if you lean forward as well, that also helps. But yeah, it was super painful. The only thing that would take any of the pain away would be that jug of water, and I'd just keep it in the bathroom, and my other half had no idea what I was doing, but it helped so, so much. That was a tip from my midwife, so thank you very much. My next one would be, number 9 would be that you forget how big your baby bump is. So on my last trimester, I was banging into everything. My belly started to get bruises. I used to bang it in the same place on the same door handle like every day. It was really hard to lean over the sink to do the dishes because your belly bump is literally the same height as the sink. And yeah, even when you're like on your laptop, or normally like we eat dinner on the couch, so I would have my tray on my lap and then I'd eat off that, but you can't lean over and you can't fit the tray on your lap. The belly bump my baby bump was that big. So that would be another thing that no one tells you, is just be careful of it. And my number 10 would be that it's really, really scary to have a poop after you've had a baby. Your first one, you're sort of freaking out because you don't want to push. It's sore down there. It's just a mess. But don't panic. Everybody goes through it. Just breathe through it. That's my only advice, is don't push. Just breathe through it. It normally happens around day 3 to day 5, my midwife told me. And at that point, my scars were sort of going tight, so it wasn't so much the soreness of like don't even want to touch down there. So the tip that she gave me was to fold a load of toilet paper or use one of your pads and hold your down below bits in place. And while you're doing that, the pressure isn't pushing down on your front, your pressure is pushing down on your back. So yeah, good luck. If you did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping that when I reach 300 subscribers, I'm going to do a big name reveal for all of us, my other half, Monkey, and the princess. So please get subscribing. If there's any type of videos that you'd like to see me do as well, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll, fingers crossed, get around to doing them all. See you soon. Good luck.